brought to you by IWCRadio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Beans, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of the IWC Radio Podcast. We're here once again with me, Smoot, obviously. Along with me is Chucks and Will. Beans still on assignment, believe it or not. Not sure how long he's going to be on an assignment, but he's still on it for sure. So, how are you guys doing? Welcome. Oh! On your whoop ass!
That's how I'm doing.
Not that for a while.
Really? Really? Huh?
Oh, it's a good one too. That's a vanilla Coke whoop ass.
Yes!
Really?
There you go.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's how you know we got a good show on our hands.
I think I
Right
found
there.
the one place in the country that still sells vanilla Coke in cans. It's Poundland, believe it or
Really?
not.
Oh,
Yeah, Poundland.
not America?
America is not in the country, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not anymore, anyway.
Serious question though. How many do you get for a pound?
Three.
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 Wow.
That is a good question. I
Oh,
think it's
that's
60p each or 3 for a pound. What a saving.
Nice.
Yeah. 3 for a pound. Wow.
Mm.
Good stuff.
Can't go wrong.
They recently, I'm not saying where I saw it from, but I recently saw that they are making Pepsi, but with salted caramel in it.
Oh man, sort of caramel everything these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the new bacon.
Or the new pretzel bun.
Right. Yeah.
I did see they started doing Pepsi Ginger.
Yeah, I haven't tried that
Yeah, I'm not
yet.
sure about that.
Yeah.
That can't be good.
No,
Oh.
that like bitter in
Yeah.
a sweet drink. No. I'm not sold on that idea.
No.
I'll let
Well-
Smoot taste test it before I give that a go.
Weirdly enough, I've seen it advertised, but not actually seen it on sale anywhere. Maybe it's a trick.
Is it April yet? Is it April 1st already?
No, we're still
Yeah.
got a few months away from that.
Mhm.
But
Anyway.
yeah, sorry. No, we got the drink portion of the stream out of the way. No, sorry.
Am I the only one drinking? Have you guys not got a drink?
I've got hot chocolate, which I've
You got
been
hot chocolate.
told sounds like the desk is having a hard time holding on to itself
Yeah, it sounds like
when
it's
I'm doing
huge.
this. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a tall glass. It's a tall Coca-Cola
That sounded-
glass.
That sounded more like stirring that time. Before it sounded really squeaky, like a squeaky chair or a squeaky desk.
I think I have both of those. I'm not sure. Definitely the
Might have
desk.
just been that. Then. You might have been stirring so hard that you were moving the office chair.
Yeah. We got a little
can't-
bit. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Will.
I can't be as entertaining. I'm on board and all water. Sorry.
Boring.
See, I have
Well-
I have nothing but water here, but I also have some hot chocolate packets that aren't gonna stir themselves, I guess.
Well, since you said that before, I really want a hot chocolate though.
Oh,
Yeah, it would be
there you
quite nice, wouldn't it? I haven't had hot chocolate for a while.
go. We don't have much to talk about this week. Just a few bits here and there.
It's annoying this week because it's not one of those weeks where we can say that nothing happened. It's just
Yeah.
that the things that did happen, we can't really add a whole lot. We've got the headlines, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple of departures last week, which we would have recorded a show last week for you, but there was a time change that threw everybody off, it seems. And by everybody, I mean Chucks.
The annoying thing, I was here.
Yeah.
I was here the whole time.
Oh, we sent you notifications.
Yeah.
I just didn't see them.
Oh.
Twitter doesn't make a loud enough noise on the phone. I think that's the problem. Sometimes it makes a little ding, and sometimes it just doesn't. Either way, I need it to make a real
Really
Hey!
loud ding.
listen. Yeah. Like an Undertaker dong or something, like a real loud dong.
Okay, fair enough. I know the problem you have, because like sometimes I'll get a notification and I can see it show up on the computer, but I don't hear it go off on the tablet, and vice versa. Like not right now, someone retweeted a tweet of mine. I think it was Will.
It's got a phone noise there.
The show was going live, and I got the PC notification, but also the tablet one this time around. So, I kind of side with you on that, but like,
Good.
See, I'm the other way though, because if you get a tweet, I've got like the iPad, the phone, the computer. You get one notification about 17 times on 17 different devices.
Yeah. Where should we go? Should we start out with the WWE stuff, and we'll talk about TNA a little bit later, or vice versa? Or what are you guys feeling?
Well, I don't have the prediction game in front of me this time. I need you to rustle the papers.
Oh God, I don't know if I have any. Wait, do I have papers?
No.
Hold on, I might have some papers here. Hold on. Let me move the microphone stand. There we go. Hold on.
Wow.
I don't know what happened to this legal pad, but there we go. That's some paper rustling. There we go.
That'll do.
That'll do? Alright. No, not that. There we go. The other P word. There we go. Predictions. Let me get the music going.
The other P word.
The other P word, yeah.
What was the other P word? Paper. Rustling paper.
I know the production slate that I accidentally clicked on just now. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. The other P word.
There we are. I hope this is... No, that is... There we go. That's what it should look like. There we are. Hey! Okay. Sorry, it's hard to do this without beans some days. Usually we can keep the show flowing.
We need someone to guide us. Yeah. The ship needs a captain.
I don't know what happened to my legal pad here. Why is it so... Why it got water damage from something? I don't know what happened there. Huh. It's not important. I'll just throw it aside. Where are we here? So this was Bound for Glory last week. Actually, 2 weeks ago. Wait, was it 2 weeks ago or last week? I don't remember.
No, it's last week. We did the predictions on Twitter instead of...
That's right.
On the show.
So, I caught the show a little bit midway through because I had some previous activities that I had to catch up on. We predicted it all on Twitter, so these are all verified. Beans was late, and he admitted that he didn't watch the show, so his predictions are still just as valid.
Well, if he gets 7 out of 7,
I can tell. Let me see here. I can tell he's at least wrong with one of them.
Well, if you're gonna cheat, you have to throw one wrong answer in there as a kind of as a decoy.
True. Let's see. Let me get the things up. So he was wrong on 2. It's two incorrect.
Spoiler.
I know. Sorry.
Spoiler.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's go through it.
All right. I'm just gonna go down the line on what Wikipedia has here. I've seen the show, and I can barely remember what happened. It started off with the 6-way Impact X Division Championship with Trevor Lee, Desmond Xavier, Garza Jr., Matt Sydal, Petey Williams, and Sanjay Dutt. Trevor Lee was the champion heading into this match, and apparently ended up winning it. So that's actually interesting. I've never seen anybody hold on to a championship heading into a 6-way matchup like that. I mean, it's been done before, and I probably am forgetting, some sort of memorable moment here. But that's good for him. Good for him. I don't know if there's anything you guys wanted to add.
I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, I've really got nothing. I know Matt Sydal is Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's who I picked was going to win. You guys picked Trevor Lee, both you guys being Chucks and Will. Me and Beans picked the man formerly known as Evan Bourne. So, well done there. Moving on. This was apparently either a dark match or a match that got added on because the Red Wedding match got bumped off the card. Oh god. How do you pronounce this? It's one of those Japanese names. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Taiji Ishimori defeated Tyson Dukes.
Dukes. Tyson Dukes. Yeah,
Dukes.
he's
Well, it should be Ducks.
It should be Ducks. He's Canadian and he's been around forever. That's what I know about Tyson Dukes. And Taiji Ishimori, yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right with that one.
We didn't predict that one, but that's a match that happened in about less than 5 minutes. So, put up your Tyson Dukes. There you go. Thank you, Ed, in the chat. Who also says they didn't see BFG because of apathy. So,
yeah,
interesting reason.
That one. I was gonna watch it and then I just didn't care.
And then I think the part that I came in on was Alberto El Patron cutting a promo on the company suspending him while an investigation was happening on domestic violence charges, and it was not a good promo, to say the least. Not a good promo. It casts like a bad light on the company, and I get what they're trying to do, just twist a real perspective on a story into like storyline based, and it came off incredibly poor taste. Incredibly poor. So that happened, and then it was the Monsters Ball match, I believe, or it was around the same. Whatever. It was around this time where the Monster Abyss was going up against Grado, where if Grado lost, he would be deported back to his homeland. And yeah, he lost, so he's going back to his homeland.
So is there a story behind? Has he quit the company, or is he going to come back somehow?
I mean, there was this like storyline way back when where he was like a masked superstar.
Right.
When he was Odarg, which is Grado spelled backwards.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
Did you know, by the way, that Relic is killer spelled backwards?
Did you know TNA spelled backwards is ant?
Ant.
There you go. Fun facts. This was not a good match. It was a very sloppy match, a Botchamania worthy, if you ask me. I think it was Rosemary and Laurel Van Ness were both there, and they interfered in the match as well. Yeah, it was just strange. It was like, hey, here's the participants for the Red Wedding match, only we're not going to have it. So here they are anyway, interfering in something that they most likely don't belong in, and yeah, it was dumb, to say the least. You guys predicted, let's see. You guys predicted, oh, it was just Chuck's predicted Grado, actually. Everybody else went with this.
I thought they couldn't deport the guy.
I mean, it's wrestling. Anything can happen.
I just figured, why would they? Like, that means he has to leave.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they would make him leave. I mean, no one ever leaves TNA, right?
I mean, AJ Styles left. Bobby Roode left.
Uh-huh.
James Storm left, and he came back.
Well, if that's true.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Mickey James left.
Gail Kim left, and she
came back at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true.
Let's get to the triple threat knockout title match here. Speaking of, which is a shoehorn segue. What was billed as Gail Kim's last ever match with TNA. She ended up beating Sienna and Allie for the Knockouts Championship in a triple threat. Which I thought was stunning, because I thought, you would, let someone new have the title if you're gonna depart from the company. Unless she's not actually departing the company and she's actually staying there, proving your point and your argument valid.
No, I think they're doing. I thought it's like a thank you, farewell. Like you're our big Knockouts division legend. Have a belt on the way out.
They did that with Jeff Jarrett and the King of the Mountain title, and look where that got him.
Oh yeah.
Look where he is now.
In rehab.
Exactly. Exactly my point.
Exactly. Well, I hope someone's watching Gail then. Hope the same fate doesn't befall her.
Yeah.
I hear they gave her this retirement thing. She won the belt on her last match, and it was all great. And then immediately they cut to the back. There was some interview going on, and no time to.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Great. TNA's gonna TNA.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we have a new company, but they're still falling back on their old ways, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells me that the problems that were in the company have been long persistent way before Dixie Carter got involved. You know? So.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just more incompetent people taking over from other incompetent people, or is there... Like, who actually writes the show these days? I'm sure it's not...
Good question,
it's
actually.
Not Russo. Is it the same people that were writing it 5 years ago, or like?
I don't know. Dave Lagana's not there anymore. He left.
It's kind of crazy how consistent it is.
Yeah.
With all the changes, it's kind of amazing.
Old habits die hard, I guess. I don't know. Moving on. Let's go to the 51-50 street fight between Ohio versus Everything and LAX, which I believe Ohio versus Everything. Yeah. Dave and Jay Christ defeated Ortiz and Santana with Conan in their corner. Which you'd think the team with the manager, who could do dirty tricks and whatnot in a match with no disqualifications, would get the upper hand, but not the case here.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, Ohio were obviously against the odds. They're versus Everything.
You know what it was? I think Ohio is closer to Canada, so they won.
They were slightly more hometown advantage than
I should have seen it coming.
Latin America. Yeah.
I should have seen it coming.
How did you not know?
Yeah, it was. The only thing I remember from this match was JR tweeting how there needs to be less stipulation matches on the card because it kind of dilutes everything, and he has a point because I don't remember a thing that happened. I'm sure there was some stuff, some flips, maybe a table broken or two. But
you're really selling me on it.
I know,
I need
right?
to see a replay now.
Yeah, 10.5 minutes this was. 10.5 minutes.
10.5 minutes.
Yeah. And then 6 Sides of Steel. Let's go with this one. This one I kind of remember. Apparently this had something to do with American Top Team getting their stuff vandalized by Moose and Stephen Bonner's team. From what they showed in the video package, trying to hype up the match. It looked pretty cool, and I was all for it. The match itself was very brutal. King Mo got busted above his eyebrow, his right eyebrow, I believe. I don't know if I can. I think I can get away with a screen cap of this if I can find it real quick. But a lot of people, well, from what I saw on Twitter, were noting how bad King Mo in the ring was, and how inexperienced he's been since he's been with the company for about, what was it, like 5 years at least? Dating back to when Spike TV was still airing TNA Impact and the whole Bellator block afterwards, if you remember.
Yeah, that seems to do quite well in the ratings, as I remember.
Yeah, it was
times change.
Yeah, and especially with D'Angelo Williams being a football player, and he has less time in the ring, and he has more grasp on it.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was the guy at Slammiversary, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, he's the reason I predicted Moose this time around. I thought the Moose and the outside guy in the tag match, they have to win because they did last time.
Right.
They're the TNA guys. They're the wrestling team. Apparently, Stephen Bonner is no whatever that other guy was called.
What?
D'Angelo De Niro.
Okay, sure, yeah. Yeah, there's a shot of a cut right there on the stream. Pretty pretty brutal. Yeah, it was kind of it was pretty much like an average steel cage match with tag team rules, I guess, without the actual tagging in and out. I think Lashley and King Mo had the upper hand for the most part. And they were able to defeat Moose and Stephen Bonner despite Dan Lambert, who looked like Jeff Jarrett, actually, getting involved and causing a bunch of nonsense to happen. So, kudos to them. Let's see. Team Impact versus Team AAA. This was a match where I think I went to get something to eat. I think. No. I think the other tag match was the one I went to get dinner on. Yeah, I remember this. Ethan Carter III, Eddie Edwards, and James Storm defeated El Hijo del Fantasma, Pagano, and Texano.
Wow, you did really well there.
Really? Thank you. All right. Thank you.
I would have loved to have heard Beans try and get around those.
Well, if he would show up for the show instead of being a dad.
It's Tejano.
Tejano.
As in Mexico. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird because like they did one of the promos after a match where EC3 didn't seem like he was on the page with these other teammates, and yeah, he was a team player. Everything was fine. They beat up Team AAA with no problem.
Huh.
And then him and James Storm celebrated. There was a spot where Eddie Edwards looked like he hurt himself on a flip. And at one point, I think Borash even said during the match that we need like medical attention out here for him. So, like, for a good chunk of it, like, he wasn't a part of it. So it was just pretty much EC3 and Storm doing all the heavy lifting. And yeah, they got the win. So maybe because of that, they had to do some ad-libbing. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but everybody gets a point involved.
Yay!
All right.
No, I was just looking up. You were talking about Eddie Edwards.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering what happened to Davey Richards, and according to
He
Wiki,
left.
he's left to become a doctor.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
How ironic would it be?
Oh,
if,
and then he came back to the Indies, and then he got an injury, and he's still studying to be a doctor. So I get
cool.
Probably more lucrative than wrestling in TNA.
Yeah.
Go be a doctor. Good move.
And in the chat, it says, is it weird that at a pay-per-view in Canada, Greta was banned from America?
Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I guess it makes sense, but it's kind of weird.
And he also goes on to say, I think the matches are put together by multiple tumblers. One tumbler has names of talent, one has the kind of match they're in, and one has the finish. Yeah, it kind of seems not that far-fetched, honestly. Chuck, so what you're saying is you thought the Moose would get loose at BFG. Is that what you were saying at all?
Sounds like a wardrobe malfunction. It's a family show. Put the Moose back in the hoose.
Did Josh Matthews and Jeremy Borash make up or something? I don't know. I haven't been watching their product in months. But yeah, it was kind of weird seeing both of them on the same page and such. Like they weren't feuding or anything like that. And another thing of note was that they released Earl Hebner, Brian Hebner, and Brian Stifler as the referees, and they got like a new batch of referees, and they were awful. They were terrible.
But were they worse than Brian Hebner?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
One of them really distracting shoes.
One of them looked like they were 13. I'll try to get a picture up, but yeah, it was pretty awful from an officiating standpoint with the referees. So.
Did I not read that they've actually moved the whole company to Canada now?
Correct. Yes, they did.
Okay. How that gonna work for people who? I'm guessing a lot of I mean, that was kind of the big sort of attraction for TNA, wasn't it? That they were based in Florida, so there was less travel and stuff.
Does that mean that Grado can come back now?
I mean, was that not part of the big reason why Earl Hebner left? I read something about he didn't get a visa or something.
I don't think he could from the whole issue of him selling like WWE.
Screwing Brett, yeah. Canada doesn't want him.
Or that, sure. Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah. Moving on to the main event here with Eli Drake, who was the champion, with Chris Adonis. Actually got the win on Johnny Don't Call Me Thursday Night Thunder Impact. Where none of us get a point in the final match of the evening there.
Everyone loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
should have been Johnny's title.
I don't remember what happened at the end. It was just like, yeah, Eli Drake wins. Good night, everybody. And that was it, from what I can recall. I don't know if Ed's in the chat. I know he's there, but I don't know if he remember how it went down or anything like that. But then again, he didn't watch the show out of apathy, so.
Wasn't Del Rio involved? Didn't he run in or something?
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I didn't care. Because El Patron showed up. He took a chair to Johnny Impact on the head, and the chair broke.
Ow.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's what I forgot. And then,
okay.
And then people were like, "Yeah, don't do chair shots in 2017 to the head." Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. That's I completely forgot about that because I wanted to block it out of my mind.
That sounds like a TNA main event to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like every Bound for Glory I think I've ever seen.
There was Sting and Bobby Roode where Sting Scorpion Death dropped himself onto that steel chair.
A classic TNA moment.
Yeah, classic.
Vintage.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty much BFG in a nutshell. Like I said, the crowd wasn't into it. The officiating with the new referees was kind of terrible. And don't try to spin domestic violence into a poorly wrestling angle. So, yeah, those were your main takeaways. Judging from...
You mentioned the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you mentioned the crowd there.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like anyone, we could all do a bit of extra cash here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you promoting Voice of Wrestling again?
No.
We'll use a bit of extra Chris Cash.
I know where Will's going with this.
Didn't even think of that, but no. No. Apparently, if we all fancy moving to Canada, we can get paid to go to see Impact live.
Yeah. $50 to $75 to be an extra. Apparently,
Yeah,
a casting company is sent out, I guess, a listing ad, if you will,
yeah.
asking people to show up for this thing in Canada, which happened to be a wrestling show called Impact Wrestling. And, yeah. And honestly, they kind of need it because the attendance at BFG was kind of... It seemed like a healthy crowd, but they just weren't making any noise.
I've got the listing here. It says you may be given signs to hold. You are encouraged to look at wrestlers on the website impactwrestling.com and make your own signs. That will be very helpful, and you will get more FaceTime on TV.
Wow.
You will get to sit in the audience and watch a thrilling night of wrestling provided to you by Impact Wrestling. Each day of filming will be 4 hours long.
Wow.
Okay, so it's up to $75 for 4 hours of wrestling. It's not bad. I could do that.
I can think of worse things to get money
Right.
for.
That's around around $19 an hour to sit.
And that's probably only one
Yeah.
one show, right? One weekly,
Yeah.
you know, set of. So you could do that as a weekly thing, $75 a week.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Sure.
I think I'd do it.
It does also invite you to bring your friends and family.
Do they get money as well?
I assume so.
I would hope so.
So yeah, if,
Oh.
20 movies to Canada.
Yeah. You could watch. You could get paid to watch wrestling. I gotta contact TWG about that. See if he'll go. So after BFG, the standings for this one-off for us at the very least. Beans got 4, Chuck's got 4, I got 3, and Will got 5 points.
Oh,
How did that happen?
Out of a possible 7. Well done. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
I've never watched TNA in my life.
I blame Gail Kim winning the title.
Oh, I've got the results of what's the last one? Slammiversary.
Yeah.
So we can add them on if you like.
Sure.
Right.
This is where Chuck's is doing math, apparently.
Man, I keep cutting out.
Okay. Whoa.
Uh,
There we are.
Yeah, I think Ed is right. Will actually got 6 because he got King Mo and Lashley as well.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I didn't highlight that one. 6 out of 7, Will. Well done.
That's
Pardon me.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just shows you that someone can predict a TNA pay-per-view that's never watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so stick this in your points heading into Raw.
Okay.
Right, Beans, you've got first. He got 2,
Okay.
and then you've got Smoot. You got 4.
Okay.
I had 5, and Will had 4.
Okay. Let's see if we add this up here. That makes it 6. That makes it 7. That makes it 8. And that would have made that 10, I believe. Yeah. If I add that correctly. I think. Hold on. Maybe not. Hold on.
I should have 9.
9. Yeah.
Yeah.
9. Pardon me.
But it doesn't matter. Will still beat us all.
Yeah.
Mr. Impact over there.
Yeah. Well done.
Can we just add these to the WWE game? 'Cause
No.
they
No. I think Beans tried to do that like last year.
might be-
And it didn't fly. No. But
Just take the win.
Yeah,
You've won one annual contest now.
Impact champion.
Yeah.
Ed is now calling you Willie Impact. I wanted to call you Willie Impact, but you got there.
I don't know if that's...
Can't just have images.
I don't know if that's something you should brag.
No.
I don't know if that's a nickname worth boasting, considering.
Well, exactly. That's why I didn't say it, and it was there. I was like, oh well, if two of us are thinking it, then maybe it should be said.
It sounds like you could have. It sounds like you should be like a tag team partner to Johnny Impact.
Exactly, his long lost brother.
It sounds like something you'd be arrested for.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
And like Dick the Bruiser.
Oh my god. That's great. That is that. Oh my god, that's great. Sorry for the mix up there with the mathing. I tried to put I was trying to add on the fly and it didn't work.
That's all right. I'll forgive.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah, so that was BFG. Probably the second time of the year we'll talk about TNA and what they have to do on pay-per-view. Moving on to WWE side of the things. They were in the UK this past week, and I believe Will attended both of these shows, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I did.
Yeah. He shot some video, which is currently uploaded onto the channel, I think.
For now.
For now.
For now.
While it lasts.
Until Vince gets rid of it.
Yeah, we may need Beans to, like, you know, throw his stroke around.
Yeah.
Throw his stroke around.
And,
It's true.
Just Willie Impact again.
Yeah.
Or we may need you to do something dodgy to the video, like flip it or like cram it into one corner with some graphic behind.
Yeah.
One of the other things that there's annoying things, or like crop the top and bottom so you can't see anything.
So that,
Slow the audio down.
yeah, so that the YouTube bots don't get a hold of it.
Exactly.
But yeah, for right now, do give it a watch. It's from a fan's perspective in the crowd. From the brief moment of the one video I saw, it looked like it was jam packed in there and loud.
Yeah, I've watched both shows back since obviously we were there. One thing that I would say that it didn't come across as loud as it was on TV. Especially when AJ won.
Yeah.
I know it was.
That was the video that I saw.
Loud. Yeah, it was quite loud on TV, but it was. I mean, I suppose you're a bit biased because I was there, but
yeah,
just didn't come across as loud as it was being there. But yeah, no, they were good shows. Probably the best shows I've been to in the UK for a while anyway.
And that's saying something, because the Raw show I thought was kind of dreadful at the start. With there was like a double count out between I can't remember who the two people were, but there was like a double count out and a guitar on a pole match. The other bullshit thing that happened there, which was just
with Elias,
yeah.
It's quite funny actually. I've got a photo of it which I'll try and upload in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, I'm pretty sure I do this in most arenas, but outside they've got like a board of upcoming guests, upcoming artists, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously it was WWE that night, so it was WWE on that particular night. Next to that, it was quite clever. The Manchester Arena had put together a poster for Elias being in concert. It just said "Coming soon, Elias." It was quite clever.
That's a nice touch.
The actual Manchester Arena did it, not WWE doing it on there. But wow,
that's cool.
That's cool.
So someone must be a fan.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah. He was getting a really good reaction as well, because he was sat in the ring in the dark for quite a while because they were obviously doing adverts. And while he was in the ring, he was getting a really good people chatting Elias, and he got a really good reaction. And then obviously when it went live and he started saying Manchester was a dump.
Yeah. Took a shit on Wonderwall.
Like no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ed in the chat is asking, what were the ticket prices like for both of the shows in Europe?
I'm gonna say into beans for a minute now because I didn't pay for my SmackDown.
Oh,
look at this guy.
Here we go. Here we go.
I did the Raw tickets was 75. Which
75 quid or 75?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's about what? About $100 ish.
Yeah, it's up there.
And they went full price. The front row, you're talking about.
Ed just said, "Oh, Big Willie got people paying for his tickets."
Big Willie style.
That's the impact
you know.
behind Big Willie Impact. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
I mean, Big Willie Impact does sound better than Big Willie Raw.
When you put it like that, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a hard argument. Anyway.
Wow. What's a way to go with that?
Yeah. Yeah, so the first hour of Raw was kind of dreadful, and I was kind of like, man, the UK kind of deserves a better show than this. And then it kind of picked up from there, especially at the end, with the main event, which I'm drawing a blank on.
It was Sheamus and Cesaro against the Shield.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, this is kind of a decent main event.
Yeah, it was. The crowd was really into it as well. Especially after Sheamus and Cesaro turned up in Liverpool kits.
Yeah.
That went down well.
They got a huge reaction from that.
It's weird. It was mostly full of Man United fans, I think, because it got quite a heavy boo.
First time in how long that someone wearing a Liverpool kit won a title?
Oh, soccer jokes now.
Wow. Yes, I'll give you that one. It was good, that one.
I was going to tweet that one earlier in the week, but thought, actually, you know what? I'll save it.
Save it for the show, yeah. I definitely kind of liked how, Under Siege was happening again with the New Day showing up.
You mean hashtag Under Siege?
Correct. Hashtag Under Siege.
We were all very confused, actually, because we could hear the New Day.
You just couldn't see him?
We couldn't see him.
Huh.
And they were talking for about a minute into what they were saying before the spotlight picked them up in the crowd.
In amongst the WWE universe.
Yeah. Because we didn't know whether they were coming from backstage or we could just hear the voices. Similar thing happened a bit earlier on actually with Alicia when she announced Asuka was going to be part of the Survivor Series team.
Yeah, that seemed like an edited thing on the spot.
Well, again, we could hear her, but we couldn't see her. And then when I watched it back, I realised they must have put that in later.
Yeah, they didn't put her on the Tron.
Yeah. And they've got this weird thing at the minute. Well, I'm guessing they've been doing it for a while, probably since they put the new sets in place, but
yeah,
you don't see any of the match on the Tron anymore.
No. They kind of have a little bit of blips here and there if you catch it at the right time, but most of the time, whenever there's a floor camera getting the Titantron in the background, it has the logo on it rather than the match, which I am not a fan of.
Yeah, where we were for Raw, we were kind of high up, so it would have been quite good to have seen the screen, but I'll say it's just the logo.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying. And then they kept there was audio problems all through the night. Every time there was a backstage bit, there was no audio on it for about 5 seconds before they realised. But no, I mean, overall it was good. I think SmackDown was better than Raw.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what you guys thought watching it.
The end of Raw was pretty wild with well, first off, there was an overrun on a taped Raw, which I can't remember the last time happening. Then you had the New Day show up in the crowd with the whole hashtag Under Siege thing, which made Kurt Angle look like an absolute buffoon because he sent his guys everywhere looking for where the SmackDown guys were, except in the crowd. Like, come on. Come on. And not only that, the match, the tag team titles were on the line. The match was still happening in progress. And Sheamus had the wherewithal to bro kick whoever it was. I think it was Seth Rollins to win the tag titles off of him, where it's going to be the Usos versus Cesaro and Sheamus at Survivor Series. Because of it now, instead of the Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're switching things up.
This is where the if they're still champions stipulation addendum is coming into play and biting people in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all went in, especially being there. No one thought they were going to change the titles.
Yeah, 2 weeks out from Survivor Series. Yeah.
I'll go on to SmackDown again in a minute, but we definitely thought that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, that was good. And then it wasn't shown on TV, but Dean Ambrose was taking the piss out of Cesaro's voice, his teeth, after the match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they were inviting them into the ring to shake hands, and he was doing the funny voice with the teeth. And he was, and then just to piss everyone off again, Sheamus started singing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Ah, okay. Yeah, flipping it over.
So all these title changes.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, as you said, there was whoever the champions are going into Survivor Series. That's who the matches will be. And when they booked that, it was all heels. So I'm guessing things like maybe this tag match, they had... Well, no, not this tag match. They were the only faces. The Shield were the only faces. So now they're all heels. So do you think that maybe some of these title changes of... the ones that we may have coming up, because we've got Natalya defending against Charlotte. We've just had AJ... winning the... Well, there's a spoiler. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
AJ winning. Charlotte maybe winning. Who was the other one? Baron Corbin's defending against Sin Cara. Do you think maybe they're thinking, we kind of need some faces in these matches?
Possibly. I don't know. If anything, I thought maybe Corbin would have gotten a defeat and lost the title to somebody. You know, that would have been one pick right there. I don't know if Sin Cara would be the guy to knock him off. Apparently, I mean, he went off on Corbin. I think this past Tuesday. I think right where you threw him.
Did you see that picture of his knee?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try and dig that up because that looked brutal.
His knee.
Sin Cara's knee. He was in a match on one of the I think it was one of these house shows, and his knee got completely buckled under him. It was like a bad 2-footed scissor tackle. You know, when the leg just bends.
Yeah.
It just looks really bad. I'll see if I can find it here while you talk amongst yourselves.
If we go on to SmackDown, we didn't know what was happening with the tag match. The referee was obviously counting for one of the Usos. I can't remember which one it was. Which Uso got injured?
I think it was Jay. Jay Uso.
It was Jay, yeah. But obviously, because we were kind of a little bit further back from the ring, we couldn't see him.
Yeah, he was like hugged up against the.
Yeah, he's on the announce table.
The announce table.
So the referee was just counting to 10, and we didn't see what happened, and we thought it was part of the plan, but it turned out.
Gable hit it like a chop block on on his knee,
Yeah.
like similar to what they did to him. And apparently that caused like a legit injury, which is very freakish, to say the least.
Well, yeah, I could tell something was up because where we were sitting, I was just after it happened. It was weird out where we were sort of dead on with where the other Uso, Jay, was sort of stood up, and he was really pissed off. He was kicking the barriers and everything.
Oh,
You could tell.
yeah.
Right, that knee and that ankle, it's just ooh.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
I'll here. This
God,
is word of warning. This is very squeamish of a picture. So
Oh, yeah.
So look away right now if you don't want to see this, because this is kind of brutal. There it is. Oh, that's at a house show or a live event.
Yeah.
Let me take that off. Oh, that is. A leg does not bend that way.
No.
A leg should not bend that way.
No, I believe that was Sunday. I don't know where they would have been then, but I'm pretty sure that was Sunday night.
I think it was
Jesus.
Cardiff Sunday.
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh. Almost Psycho Sin said Ed in the chat. That's was it this past Tuesday or the show before it where like Sin Cara just kind of like threw Baron Corbin at the announcers and he chucked one of the office chairs at him.
Yeah, he seemed to be okay. I guess it just sprung back and everything was fine.
Huh.
But yeah, you can imagine that you wouldn't be too happy with Baron Corbin after that.
Yeah, no, that was 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, no, that's a horrific looking a leg bending at the wrong way. So he's lucky. I mean, if there's no injury to that, he's very lucky and flexible.
I'm flexible, yeah. But they have built up Miz and Corbin. They've done a few videos back and forth. And as bad as it's going to be, it feels like that is the way they're going. And Miz versus Sin Cara, is that better? It's arguable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Corbin versus Miz is going to be as bad as everyone's expecting it to be. Honestly, that might be a sleeper of a match to be surprised by. But then again, I could be wrong, and it could just be the drizzling shits. So I don't know. We still got one more week of TV tapings to go through. TV tapings? No, TV programs, because they're both live. And whatever happens, we'll be here next week to predict it, I believe. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Ed says I'll be watching a lot of Cowboys Eagles during Baron versus Miz. I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
So I get the impression that the decision to put AJ over for the big belt was a late decision. Just a hunch I have after watching so many years of wrestling and the way that they've built up Lesnar and Jinder.
Yeah.
It seems like this was a bit out of nowhere. So I don't know if Jinder's hurt or if he's done something to upset someone or if it is just this match is going to suck, so we need someone better in there. I don't know what the decision was made for, what reason. But I don't know, it seems to me like this one is kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was. I mean, going into it, we all thought, especially people in people there, we all wanted AJ to win, but no one really expected it.
Yeah.
And so much so the fact that Jinder was actually doing a lot of media work that day, advertising him and Lesnar at Survivor Series.
Well, and the plan, as we know, there's the India tour coming up.
Yeah.
We've thought this whole thing was to get the belt on him when they go to India.
Yeah.
And now it's only a couple of weeks or so, and it's not far away.
Yeah.
And they've just taken it off him. So does that mean he's going to get it back?
Possibly.
Or maybe win it back in India somewhere?
He did say on his Instagram the day after, he congratulated AJ for winning and said something about, I've got it here. To my haters and wrestling insiders, this was not an experiment. I am not injured, and I have not violated the wellness policy.
Huh.
Hmm.
I don't know. He could always win it back after Survivor Series off of AJ. Maybe it's something a little bit with marketing where Brock versus AJ is more of a marketable match than Brock versus Jinder.
It is, and it's definitely going to be a better match.
But would you not think if they thought that they'd give it longer to promote it? They've only promoted it for a week, for 2 weeks.
That's been a bit weird.
Yeah.
Something going on.
If they thought it was a big match, then give it the full month's worth of promo.
And and not go into this whole thing with Jinder trying to be the Beast Master and having the Singh brothers pretend to be Paul Heyman. And,
that was so terrible. Maybe that's what did it. Maybe calling himself the Beastmaster was the nail in the coffin. Oh my god!
That was a shoot comment. He was planning that for days. He's like, when I get the mic on Tuesday, I'm going to call myself the Beastmaster. Vince heard it and said, "All right, change that finish. I'm not having this."
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh. Apparently, there's talks of Jinder winning the title back at India, but what kind of a tomfoolery would that be for a WWE title change at a house show? I mean, they did it for the UK. Why not for another foreign audience like India?
They did it not too long ago with AJ and the US title, didn't they?
Yeah.
At Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it may be to get more people to tune into the live events, perhaps?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, could happen. They could also have Jinder... Well, I suppose he wouldn't admit to it, would he? Deliberately losing the belt before the Lesnar match, so he didn't have to
face him?
face the Beast, and then win it back from an easier opponent. Yeah, because now AJ is going to be weakened by the Lesnar match. Next time he gets his contracted rematch, could be easy pickings.
Mm-hmm.
What we didn't see being there, and what I saw after watching it again, was Jinder taking out the Singh brothers at the end.
They showed that on TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed that on TV.
Did they? Did I just turn off early? I don't remember that.
Probably.
What did he do?
He just punched him out. He's like, "Fuck you," pow, right in the face.
Just like Carmella and James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Also, as a knock-on effect of AJ winning the belt, it looked like we were going to have John Cena as the special ref, or at least that was the rumor. And now Cena is in the Survivor Series team, taking what would have been AJ's spot.
Huh.
So there's a bit of shuffling going on there too. So now John Cena's back on SmackDown, I guess. The free agent.
Free agent.
And Team SmackDown is old as fuck.
I haven't actually seen the latest match card.
Oh yeah, they're all 40 plus. I think Randy Orton is the youngest guy.
Oh my god. Let me see. Come on, show me Wikipedia.
Okay, so it's Shane as team captain, Randy Orton,
Right.
Cena, Bobby Roode, and Nakamura.
Yeah.
These guys are all late 30s at best.
Well, I mean, it's not too big of a knock, I guess.
37 is the youngest. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I don't
actually
know.
not much better on Team Raw's side, to be honest.
Yeah. Looking at the names, especially when Samoa Joe is as old as Mickie James, and Mickie got ragged on about her age. Yeah.
Strowman 34, Samoa Joe 38, Finn Balor 36, Jason Jordan, he's 29. Jason Jordan, really, he's the weak link in that one, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, he
Can
purely
we swap him out for someone?
purely
Monday?
nepotism for that spot from what they made out on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't have a problem with the age here for the match, considering I don't care for Survivor Series as a concept as a whole.
Ah.
But I don't know. Everyone's been kind of ragging on Raw since they're the self-proclaimed A show and SmackDown's the B show. So I wouldn't be surprised if SmackDown gets the upper hand here, or maybe SmackDown gets too cocky and Raw gets like a surprise win, if you will.
Now, every time SmackDown always wins these matches because of exactly that. Raw's the A show, SmackDown's the B show, so SmackDown gets the win to kind of even things up a little bit. Plus, Team Raw, the women, Team Raw has Asuka, so they have to win.
Yeah.
So that probably means that the SmackDown men will win to balance it out.
It's true, yeah.
It's a little insight into my predictions for next week.
I mean, there's still one spot left to fill. It could be Dana Brooke, who could just ruin everything.
Have you heard the rumors about this one?
No, I've not. No.
Well, they've announced that will be filled by the winner of Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Bayley, triple threat. But now there's a rumor flying around that it could end up being Paige.
Oh. Okay, well, here's the thing. If it's Paige, why would you release Emma at a point where she's been claiming that she's the maker of the Women's Revolution and not have like a match between Paige versus Emma? And then you could give Emma her release after that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a
got
humdinger.
nothing.
That's a humdinger of a decision.
And if you're gonna fire Emma, why have her? Why do that long match with Asuka's debut on the pay-per-view?
I don't. Yeah.
Why not just have her squashed twice? That seems like out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on.
Something's afoot.
Something's afoot.
Something's afoot. We've then got Enzo Amore, Kalisto. So if Sin Cara beats Baron Corbin on SmackDown, we could then have a Lucha Dragons reunion, both as champions, and do the Eddie Benoit hug.
Do the lucha
on
thing.
the pay-per-view.
Do the
Yeah,
lucha
do
thing.
that good lucha thing. With all the confetti coming down,
Yeah.
both as champions. It'd be a sweet moment.
And have like the like another non-title match after that. Ed says, "I bet $1 million internet dollars that it won't be Paige." And then goes on to say,
I'll take that bet.
Yeah, I'll take that as well.
he says, "Big Willie, I may need a loan for $1 million internet dollars."
You know he's got it as well.
I wish.
$1 million internet dollars.
Would have been so much better to see a 205 Live versus WWE UK Division Survivor Series elimination match. Yeah, that was something that was kind of out of nowhere, where it was Enzo versus
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
I almost said Tyler Bate, but I was like, no, that's not. No, that's the other one. The other
Not
guy.
that one.
Yeah, the guy that doesn't look like a sleazeball.
Did anyone see 205 Live? I'm asking a silly question here.
I did not know.
That is a silly question.
Well, the first time I actually watched an episode of 205 Live was when I had to because I was in the arena.
Yeah.
You had to. That free ticket, you had to stay to get your no money's worth.
They kept teasing that Nakamura and Rude were coming up in the dark match, so
Yeah, they did that.
I don't know what was going on, but I literally think they give Enzo a microphone and said, "Go and waste some time," because he was out there for a good 25 minutes talking absolute nonsense to the UK roster.
God. That's why they left.
He had the Zoe show or the Enzo show, something that was a ridiculous name, and he had the whole UK roster as the guests, and he was just he kept going through one by one, talking to each one, and no one had a clue what he was talking about. I think he did. It was
That sounds like good TV.
It went on for far too. I don't know how much of it actually made TV because I haven't watched it back, but he was out there for at least 25 minutes.
Jesus, that's a long time for him to talk.
Yeah. I said I don't know how much of it actually made TV. I'm guessing not a lot.
I know. By the end of the match, Enzo was well done. Ha!
Hey.
Well done, Ed.
But yeah, I was saying to you guys before, it was laughable.
Oh, yeah.
As the AJ was literally sort of still celebrating his title win, and the crew would come down to change everything for 205 Live.
Yeah.
And the arena was literally emptying.
I mean...
no one... I'm guessing no one either knew 205 Live was happening or weren't interested.
Yeah.
But then they got... I forgot his name again. What's his name? The announcer.
Greg Hamilton.
Greg Hamilton.
Yeah. They had him come on the mic and say, remind everyone that still to come was... I think the team dark match was Rude and Nakamura against Ziggler and Corbin, I think.
Jeez.
Ziggler or someone, I can't remember. But obviously everyone wants to see, the Nakamura entrance and the Rude entrance, so...
Glorious.
But I was saying to you that at least 4 or 5 rows from where we were sitting had gone. They just left. So we moved down for the 4 rows.
Good call. Good call.
But yeah, no one knew, or very few people knew 205 Live was even happening, so... Yeah, it was really weird to say. I think AJ was still actually out there, so you still sort of going around the cars with the belt, and the arena was emptying. Weird.
Yeah, 205 Live just isn't a thing people want to watch after SmackDown. I feel it should be something that starts at the start of a taping rather than the end of a taping. In my opinion.
Especially after that AJ match, everyone was done.
Yeah.
Especially Pete.
Hey.
Weirdly, he wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah, that was another thing. We had the whole UK roster was there, apart from the champion, which didn't make any sense.
Because he was already on Raw.
Yeah, I think he's touring with the Raw roster, so I think they were in Lisbon that night. I'm not sure. Somewhere else, anyway.
We should have another one of those custody disputes at Survivor Series, like who gets the cruiserweights. Again.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, were they kind of teasing... Because they're still looking for a spot for this UK show, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are they kind of... The way, if you watch 205 Live, it was very UK focused.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they kind of...
That could have been because of where they were at, the venue itself?
Well, yeah, I'm guessing that played a part, but I'm just wondering if it's kind of thinking that in the back of the mind, 205 Live isn't working.
Yeah.
Let's try something else. But
WWE UK Live.
speaking of which, as well, I don't know how this come about, but on the NXT Takeover show next week,
Yeah.
Pete Dunne's actually defending the UK title against Johnny Gargano.
Whoa.
I'm not sure how he qualifies for a UK title shot.
I guess it's the European title now. It doesn't really matter where you're actually from.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, they've actually said it's not going to be featured on the show. It's going to be for the live crowd only.
Just like Starrcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Why would you? I still don't get that whole Starrcade thing.
Me neither.
Why give it a name?
I mean, it's something for maybe like the venue only, I guess. But even then, I mean, if you're going to give it a name, you should have it on the network in some capacity.
Right, if it's going to be a network exclusive whatever, that one of those special events, then fine, give it a name. But why do you name just a house show?
Nothing. Sorry, there was like a brief down period.
Sponsored silence there.
Sponsored silence. Sorry,
I think Skype had a few problems.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's just that just is one of those baffling things. The move to not put the UK title on the TV is beyond stupid, says Ed in the chat. I mean, you got a point there. Was there anything else that happened this week? I just noticed the time because it was getting to the portion of the show where we should wrap things up anyway.
Agreed.
Because there was like a bunch of releases last week that we didn't get a chance to mention. Summer Rae, Emma, Darren Young, being the only three to date.
That's right, yeah.
Darren Young really just that as soon as he split up from the Primetime Players, I think he was just done in the water.
God, imagine that the Primetime Players was like the highlight of your career. Bad. They could have done so much more with him too.
Yeah,
because he wasn't bad.
And then they were trying to rebuild him with Bob Backlund to make him great again, and
that was a terrible idea.
Yeah. Summer Rae, she never came back from injury, unfortunately.
No.
I think she was being ready for a while, hasn't she? They just didn't know what to do with her.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. And as we mentioned earlier, Emma was the one that, had that match with Asuka, and that, led to her release, which was very weird. Jericho versus Kenny Omega for Wrestle Kingdom. Ed was mentioning that in the chat earlier.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. If I remember that, I might tune in for it and get I don't think I saw the one last year. I don't think I saw whichever number it was last year with Wrestle Kingdom, but if I can remember that's a thing, I might tune into it and watch that.
There's a lot of internet debate on whether or not Vince is in on it or not.
He has to be to some degree.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Jericho's not the kind of guy to go and do whatever on his own. He must have had some kind of clearance.
Yeah.
Do we get a rematch at Mania?
Yeah, that was my theory too. But Kenny Omega just signed a new contract with New Japan last year because there were rumors about him showing up in the Rumble after his 6-star match in January. And he re-signed with New Japan, and until quite recently, they only did 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
So everything would roll January to January. But apparently not so much anymore. They wanted to lock people down for just a little bit longer. So I think he's still covered. So unless it is part of a deal, and Vince is in on it, and it's been cleared both sides, you do one at Wrestle Kingdom and then a rematch at WrestleMania, which would be cool. I don't know. I don't really see it.
I don't know if people would be into that outside of like the internet community, because what happens in WWE is like its own little bubble, if you will.
It would need a lot of build. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that used to be the case, but I don't think it is anymore. I think they're a lot more open to outside stuff now.
Yeah.
I think, just last week, Triple H turned up in IWC. No.
Wait,
Bullshit.
what?
Not our show, no.
He really does have stroke.
Yeah.
No, the Scottish company, ICW, sorry, IWC.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
ICW.
Them imposters.
I think Pete Dunne used to wrestle for them.
Okay.
So Pete Dunne was already advertised, and he brought Triple H with him. Which is kind of cool to see Triple H at an indie show. But yeah, I think, as you say, I think they used to be more closed to these kind of things, but I think now they're a lot more open to them. But I can't see that, as Chuck said, I can't see it happening.
Okay.
Keep the fingers crossed, though. You never know. Anything can happen in WWE.
That's true. That is very true. Just looking at the headlines right here, nothing is standing out to me that much. There's a rumor that the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick may already be dropped.
Yeah, apparently they showed up with new gear and new music and everything for one house show.
Yeah.
And then on the next house show, they were back to just being Rowan and Harper with, I think it was Harper's theme music.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've already had that scrapped, or if maybe they're just saving
it for TV.
Yeah, saving it for TV. Didn't want any photos getting leaked or anything.
That would be strange if they already axed that before making its TV debut.
Ed in the chat just brought up Owens and Zayn.
Getting sent home.
Yeah.
Really?
You didn't hear about this?
No, I didn't hear about this.
Oh.
It was
This
after SmackDown.
kind of- Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, we've got some headlines. Paige may be coming back. Huh? AJ won a belt. Might have been a last-minute decision. Nothing else. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens sent home. That's all we know.
Huh. Wow.
Something to do with the finish to the match, apparently, on SmackDown.
When they're supposed to get attacked and they just
Yeah.
rolled away or something, is
Yeah. That's the rumor, anyway.
yeah.
Kind of petty, but WWE's an expert in pettiness, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Bram is like the latest departure from TNA.
No.
Yes. Yeah, he actually announced it on his Twitter. So no more of the.
Didn't he just resign?
No, you'd think, but not the case this time. He tweeted out something saying, "I've been granted my release from Impact Wrestling. Thank you for your support from everyone, top to bottom, and to you, the fans, for your support." So, yeah, that meme, no more. Sadly, it was a good run. It was a good run.
Maybe he could come back and rejoin the Ascension.
Ooh. Was he originally a part of the Ascension in NXT?
He was before Victor, yeah.
Before Victor. Huh. I mean, WWE's been teasing like a 6-man title championship for like a while now, sending out surveys and such. Maybe he can come back and make that a thing. Who knows?
Speaking of 6-man, I can't believe we've forgotten this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The New Day and the Shield mysteriously left off the Survivor Series card. Just saying.
Okay. Are either of them champions?
No.
Okay,
But
there you go.
the New Day did just screw the Shield out of the titles. And they're both 3-man teams.
Maybe
And they're both not booked.
Maybe it's one of those surprise matches that'll happen on the card.
Or
I think you'll get
we'll hear
announced this
something.
week.
Yeah.
Isn't Range back on Raw Monday?
Yes,
Supposed to be. Yeah.
which is billed as a can't miss Raw. Since he's coming back.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. It says, but I thought Bram just re-signed with TNA for a multi-year deal. Nope, not the case this time. Not the case. Is it gonna? Let's see here. We'll do it one more time here. Once more. Is Bram's release the end of a certain company here? Well, no, because apparently it's still in business. I don't even need to cue up the music. There it is, right there on the screen. Right there. Impact Wrestling, a.k.a. Global Force Wrestling, a.k.a. TNA, still in business, as you can see. There you go. I don't even need to do the music or anything like that. That is timing. That is timing. All right, and speaking of timing, I think that's all the time we have this week. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add real quick?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
We're gonna have a lot more things to talk about next week.
Definitely.
Only speculation for now.
Like I said, Raw this week's supposed to be a can't miss. Very weird to see what happens on SmackDown if maybe Jinder challenges for a rematch and then he wins it back, like 6 days before the show or something like that. Who knows?
That'd take the piss.
Yeah, that would. That would. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, follow us on Twitter at the IWC Radio. Give us a like on YouTube that you're maybe listening on. We're also on iTunes. Give us a good review, 5 stars, however many stars, -5 stars if you want, if they even allow that. Hopefully next week we'll have Beans here if he's not too busy being a parent to his newborn child. But maybe he can pull some stroke for us again, magically. Who knows? I don't know. I certainly don't. And yeah, we'll see you then. Predicting Survivor Series. Good luck. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next Saturday. Good night.